anyways, headed to Colorado for some cool footage. You guys will see. Can't say anything about it. Secret. Shh.
Rory sent me the coordinates, and it is right there. Which, I know you can't see it, but it's basically at the portal overlook on the Poison Spider Trail. So I used Onyx Maps to navigate right there, and look, it drew this little red line that shows me exactly where to go. And I can even download this map and this route so that when we lose service, when we go around the corner up there, I'll still have it on my phone and it'll still be really useful.
210 degrees out. That's hot.
210 degrees.
Oh.
Not outside.
102. What did I say?
210?
Oh, that's the
You're looking at the other temp gauge.
Look at the wrong one.
That's funny.
Mike's like, wait, what?
If it's 210 outside, we got big problems.
We gotta go in the river.
Right now.
Make this a boat.
Yeah. So, what's your first impressions of wheeling the yellow machine here?
It's legit. It's got AC. Ain't nothing better than that.
Yeah.
Is there?
Taco Bell. Somebody put some red paint on there. Look good on this side. We have reached 140 degrees. 140!
Pretty gnarly. That's how hot it is in Moab. We just topped out on top of the mesa and he'll start cooling down now. We're in that little canyon getting baked at 140 degrees.
Man, I'm really glad we fixed those rear shocks.
Was it that bad?
Oh, it was
bottom out really
literally
bad?
Every bump it bottomed out. So these are juniper trees. Fun little side note about juniper trees. When the weather gets really bad, like this one right here is a perfect example, they will actually kill off certain branches to just keep a portion of the plant alive. It's a mode of self-preservation. Check it out. There's water in the desert right down there.
About to go run over there and jump in it.
All right. I'll film you.
But I'm not going to.
Frolicking in the water.
Yeah.
Coming up ahead, there's a whole bunch of little intersections, and that can get really confusing. It's nice to have a good, solid map to tell you which way to go. And that's why we use Onyx Off-Road. Anytime you need, you can find your location coordinates, which is really, really helpful. If you need to call us, you can give us your location, and that is pretty darn useful.
Oh, look, somebody's standing up there.
Hey, that's our guy. He's right there. Shawn and I were commenting earlier that we've never really been to this overlook much before.
Yeah.
And you'll notice there's not a lot of people come up this way. Oh, I see him. All right, so that's our guys right here. We are gonna go give them a jump and get them on their way. Yeah, come on, get on track. They're on their way. All is well. A little quick jump start, no problem. And let's go check out this view.
We literally just hooked the jump box to it and they were gone. We didn't really record it because
it's 140 degrees out.
140 degrees out, but we're gonna go hiking.
Ta-da! Look, there's Moab.
There's Moab. Look, there's a bolt. You can propel all the way down.
It's a shorty. Short.
shorty.
That's why you only need one bolt. Just kidding. You should never rappel off with just one bolt. Man, this is a really cool viewpoint. And this is very deceptively steep. I know from your perspective it doesn't look very steep, but it is. You can tell because Shawn's eating a sandwich, and when he gets nervous, he eats.
Yeah.
That pothole we saw on the way in, turns out it has a name. It's called Giant Pothole.
All right. Make it farther, right there.
Yeah, our group is right up here, so we're gonna go catch up with them and see what's happening. So we used the jump box again, and the machine seems like it runs good when the jump box is connected, and it seems to run less good when it's not. So we borrowed them our jump box. We'll get it back from them later, and they are gonna keep on trucking and try and make it out of here before everybody melts. The end is in sight.
It's still 140.
Yeah, Mirror still claims that it is 140 degrees outside. Realistically, it's more like 104. Well, glad we brought the jump box instead of just the jumper cables.
Oh yeah.
That seemed like, because he seemed to have it connected to his machine to be able to make the machine work.
Yeah, and it did sound better when we had it hooked up, turned the switch on, and you could hear a difference in the motor or the way it runs.
Yeah.
So
it's a good thing we brought the jump box. And thanks for watching, guys.
So, we are heading up for Hell's Revenge right now. We've got a Toyota Land Cruiser, I believe one of the bubbly ones, with a broken rear end up here. It's locking up. So, I don't know if we're going to be able to pick it up and carry it out.
So, interesting side note, we have the whole doors on here, the full doors.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, I had these on for drag racing this weekend because you can't have half doors at the drag strip. You have to roll your windows up and everything while you're racing.
What? Windows up?
Both windows, all windows have to be up.
Wild.
So, yeah, it did pretty awesome. I was super happy with it.
What'd you think of the quarter-mile drag racing?
It was fun. I don't think I'd ever build something just to do that, but it was so much fun. I was having a blast, was there with good people. Hector showed up. Perriots was there. We were just having a good time. It was a great time hanging out, having fun, and trying to race an extremely heavy truck that had no reason to be on the track.
Do you want to tell people how fast it went?
Well, it went 75 miles an hour in the quarter mile at 17 and a half seconds.
Nice.
That was its fastest time, and I was pretty stoked with that. It did really well being consistent.
All right.
So I did 5 passes, and all of them were within 0.2 of a second of each other.
But here's the real question. Did you beat any cars?
No, everybody beat me. Everybody was faster.
Man, this has really turned into an obstacle here.
I'm telling you.
This was not an obstacle a year ago or two, and now it's really evolved into about a 2-foot ledge. Yeah, it's right down here hiding in the bushes, and it's yellow. Look at these matching vehicles. It's like we planned our outfits for the day or something.
Right.
So apparently the rear differential has experienced some things.
It is very crunchy.
And now we're gonna do something about it. It's got a tow point. This is a well set up machine.
My shoulder hurts.
What'd you do? Probably reeling in all those fish this weekend.
Oh. Brakes! Brake, Mike! Oh. I see. My bad.
Yeah, she's definitely catching.
Just to give an explanation of what we're doing here. So the rear end is broken. When it comes to picking up the rear end, we'd have to pull this tire off and then probably the mount just to get it picked up and everything. And to go this far, there's not really any reason. The truck can pull plenty good to just drag it out, and the rear end is already broken. So the teeth on the ring gear, they grab like this, the pinion and the ring gear, they grab like this. This one is missing, so they're binding up on each other. It's already broken. We're not going to save anything by carrying it out. R&B 4x4 and get it figured out, to get some gears ordered, and get it fixed. They're over here. They're running to Uray, Colorado, run up through the mountains and stuff. So they're gonna try and get it fixed while they're over there enjoying that, and then they can come back, pick it up, and keep wheeling. So good plan. Good plan.
Here we go. We love you, Internet. Notice that audio quality.
Yeah.
You can hear the blinker.
So we don't even have to yell at you guys anymore. We'll just
Whatever.
casually talk.
Only yelling. We only yell at the camera. YouTubers
Oh.
take it. Whoa!
There's a horn?
Hey,
What?
careful, you're gonna get arrested.